Bitcoin ETF delayed again. What now? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin and then moving on to Bitcoin. There's a couple patterns that could be forming in Bitcoin I want to point out to you guys. And then at the end of the video, definitely stick around. We're going to take a look at that Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart, see where we're at on that, how it's looking, and where we might be headed. Also, don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Also, that gets you entered to win a free t-shirt. We do a free t-shirt drawing on Sunday by picking a random comment throughout the week. So, yeah, don't forget to do that. There's also a free Discord link in the description below the video. Check out our Discord. It's free. We don't charge you nothing. I've been telling people don't pay for, any kind of call service or, any of the BSTA courses or whatnot. All you're doing is feeding their gambling habit. Guys, don't get ripped off. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. 1, 2, 3, go! All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here or you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And then if you tick the notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything, as I do post new videos every day. And don't forget to smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think, and let's get into the video. All right, looking at Litecoin on the daily, and we've been looking at this as a big cup and handle. And I had the neckline right here around the $94 range. And the measured move off that, guys, we'd measure the depth of the candle and move it up to where he broke out. That's around the 167 area. Now I do have another neckline drawn here for a bigger cup and handle, which this would be the other side of the cup forming a handle now. And the measured move off that would be 192. But first off, we're going to start off with this target. This is the one I'm looking towards. So let's get on to the daily RSI and see what's going there. We have this rising channel. We're still watching. Still inside the channel, guys. I don't believe we're going to have any huge correction like people, are talking about, but we definitely will correct once we, hit the bottom of this, once we break through this resistance on the bottom of this rising channel. So, but I do believe we have more upward movement to come. So let's look at the 4-hour RSI. And as you can see, we had this falling wedge here, which we broke out of, came into a falling channel, broke out of the falling channel right here, and entered another one. I do believe we're probably going to pop out of this one and continue up, but we will look at the bearish scenario too, which if we were to break down from here, we'll look at those targets also. But I think we're going to break up here, guys, and do another move up before, a correction, or a decent correction, I should say. Let's look at the price action and see where we're at on that. All right, so as you see, this is the target, the measured move off of, which is still valid, guys. If you look at this, we have this flagpole here with a big, bull flag here. Take the measured move of that flagpole and put it up. That's what gets us up to the 116 area, guys. I'm definitely still looking towards that target. And if we look here, this rising broadening wedge here, the bearish scenario, like I said, we're going to look at that first. I'm looking at, if we come down and test the bottom of this broadening wedge, it's going to be around the $82 range. And if that does not hold, guys, then we're looking down towards the $68 to $69 range, which would be the top of this falling channel, which was the bull flag here. And if that doesn't hold, worst case scenario, I see us around the $50 to $52 range, somewhere in there, depending on where we hit this trend line. But I don't believe we're going to drop below this trend line, and I'll show you what the trend line is, and it's the long-term trend line from the bottom over here. And as you know, I've been calling the bottom in both Bitcoin and Litecoin since December. If you want to go back and check all my old videos, we followed it all the way up, and I did call the bottom way back then on both of them, and I'm still holding to that. And we'll talk about that in the end of the video when we look at the Bitcoin versus gold chart. So anyways, now we'll take a look at, like I said, this rising broadening wedge here. I do have this measured move here. If we were to come up, test the top of this and break through this 116 and then break through there, that also gets us up to that higher target that I showed you in the beginning, right there around the 167 area. But that's where I'm at with that. I do believe, you know, this is where we're headed most likely, in my opinion, as long as these support lines don't break down. So definitely keep an eye on that. Let's look at Bitcoin now. Same thing in Bitcoin. We had been watching this as a cup and handle, and our measured move off that was right up here to the 8,300 area, and we did hit that. So now what are we looking at? Well, now I'm looking at this as a rising broadening wedge, just like in Litecoin, but this one's obviously already broken out here. And the measured move off that, you just measure the width where it broke out and put it up to the top, and that's 92 or 96 to $9,700 range, right in there. These numbers aren't exact, guys. This is just where I do a rough estimate. So 96.22 is a rough estimate, somewhere in that area. I do believe we're still going up that way. I do believe this top line right here is going to become our new support. And if not, if we don't break, we're going to look at the lower targets in this video, or in this section of the video, and then again in the end of the video I'll show you that also. But let's look at the 1 hour or the daily RSI. Same thing, we've been inside this rising wedge, had a little bear trap here, which I drew another line here, so we could possibly come back down and test this. But if we do break down, that's going to be the bearish scenario, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. Excuse me. All right, into the 4 hour RSI, and then we'll move into the price action. 4 hour RSI, we had this rising wedge here that we broke down out of here, and we were also in a falling channel here, which we broke out, tested the top of it for support. Now it is possible we continue down, guys, but I do believe we'll probably come up and test this again first. Let's look at the price action and see where we're at. It's going to look a little messy. Like I said, I have some patterns I wanted to show you guys that I'm looking at here. And we'll start out with the bearish scenario first. Obviously, I've had this channel drawn in here since over here, where we broke down when we had that big capitulation candle the other day, the manipulation, whatever they want to call it. But anyways, we popped back in it, had another little bear trap here popping down out of it, and now we're inside it again. The measured move off of this, if we were to break down, guys, is right here in the 6,900 range. And this target here is another bearish one. We'll take a look at that in a second. I do believe this line, like I said, is going to become our new support. I don't think we're going to break down past that, guys. If we were to, this next line, which is this old channel here, would be our next area of support around the 6,000. Well, actually, we're over here now. So further we go along, the higher the target gets. But anywhere from 6,000 to 6,200 if we were to, and that's if we were to come straight down now. But I don't see that happening. We also have the 200 EMA here around the 6,400. That's another area to watch if this line breaks down. If we broke down past the 6,800 range, then we'd be looking for support around the 6,450, and then then we'd look at the lower targets. But I don't see that happening, but we do need to be aware that that could happen. All right, let's take a look at the patterns I was talking about. Now this looks, if you guys aren't familiar with it, a diamond reversal pattern, which this could be forming right now. And what it is obviously, nice move up, and then it forms this diamond formation here. And the measured move off that would be, you measure the depth of the diamond and then to where it would break down. And that's what gets me to this 71.33 area, guys. So if you are doing your own charting, I would draw these lines in, and you draw it off the wicks of all these. This isn't exact. I just showing you guys the basics of it. But anyway, and if it was to break out, there are false breakouts on these guys that'll come out and then shoot back up in. How to confirm is take the very bottom wick, which is right here, and once it passes that, then you would be going towards that 71.30 target. And that bottom wick sitting on Coinbase right at 75.81. So keep an eye on that. Now I'm going to show you the bullish scenarios. We've taken a look at the bearish possibilities. Now we're going to look at the bullish. And I'm still steering towards the bullish, guys. I know, everybody's kind of bearish because of the ETF thing or whatever, but the charts are the charts. We're still looking for some big news, or at least I am. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we go into the gold daily or the gold weekly versus the Bitcoin daily chart. So let's go back and look at what's going on here. So if we look at this channel, like I said, we've gotten back in it again. If we already come up, my target up here is the top of that channel, which is the $85 range. And that, again, guys, that moves because this line obviously isn't straight across. So depending on where we hit it, but I'm looking roughly 8,500. We're probably going to get some resistance there. If we do break through, then we move up to the higher targets. And rough estimate, if we broke out above there, is around the 92.50 range. So keep that in mind. And then I believe if we did do that, we may come back down, touch the bottom of this, or touch the top of this and get support off of old resistance and move up from there. But now I'm going to show you the other pattern I'm looking at, which is an inverse head and shoulders. And move this stuff over here so we can take a look at it. This would be the left shoulder here. And this would be the right shoulder right there. And this would be the head. All right, so the measured move off of that, guys, I don't know if I put it on here, but really doesn't matter too awfully much because it goes right in line with the cup and handle target. So, I'm sorry, not the cup and handle, the rising wedge target. So let me get the measured move, which I put over here. Bring it over here, and you would measure the length or the depth of the head, which is right here. And then you would put it up to where it would break out, which would be on the top of the right shoulder if we were to break out here. And the measured move off that gets us right up to that same range between 96 and 9,700. So that's where I'm at on that. We're going to go into the Bitcoin daily chart. Excuse me. And take a look at this. If you're new here and you haven't seen this yet, I've drawn trend lines from each peak to where we broke down to the 6,000 range. And if you look at the similarities to gold, and gold is over 20 years, but that was before the internet, social media, all that stuff. Things are a lot faster now. Plus, this is a smaller market, moves a lot faster, but human emotion is what makes charts. And when I say human emotion, I mean greed, fear, manipulation, news. Everything is already in the charts. So if we look at this, I did the same thing from each peak to where gold broke down. And if you look here, we had 2 touches on the bottom of this long trend line. And then obviously you see what happened there. But right in here, the gold ETF, right in March 2003, gold ETF was approved. And you can see what happened after that. And basically what happened after the gold ETF was approved is there was it found its price, basically. And I believe that's what Bitcoin's going to do when the ETF is approved. And I do say when. I know they delayed it, but I believe a lot of that is for FUD, so people sell, and the big boys can keep accumulating while not pushing the price up so they can keep getting low cost Bitcoin. Just my opinion. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the similarities. Same thing in here. And my target, let me show you. I shouldn't have moved that yet. Might be a little off now, but as you can see where it went here on gold, if we look back at Bitcoin, my target for the end of this year, believe it or not, is 46,000. I know it's pretty bold, but I'm pretty confident in it. As you know, a pattern's a pattern. I like patterns, and this is the same pattern gold played. Now we're going to take a look a little bit closer. Look at that trend line. We had 2 touches on the bottom, just like gold. Each time we touched one of these, trend lines that I've drawn from each peak to where it broke down, acted as resistance, and then became support all the way up. And I do believe that this line here, this trend line, is going to hold, guys. I don't think this is another bold statement, but I don't believe we're going to go below 6,000 again. Possibly 6,600. We may not see below that ever again. If we do break this trend line here, then we would be looking at, you know, $5,200 range, 5,000 possibly, but I don't see it happening. If you're waiting on a $5,000 Bitcoin, I don't think you're going to get it. So anyways, we're also going to take a look at the RSI, guys, and see what's going on in that. Now, this is why I called the bottom. I've been looking at this since December. You could check back in my videos and check it out. But we're going to look at the weekly first. And as you can see, I have these trend lines drawn. This is the 2013 bull market, followed by the bear market. And on this trend line, we got 2 touches for resistance and broke through, and it never looked back. And this is the 2017 over here with the 2018 bear market, 2 touches of resistance on this trend and up. Now, I know people are saying we're oversold. I get it. It is oversold, but if we take a look, let me put this in the log and take a look at what happened here when we got oversold. See, we were oversold over here in 2015. Obviously had a correction here and back down, but we stayed going up and down in the oversold, and there was no huge corrections in there, you know, just none. It was just a straight bull market, and I believe we're starting that now. And I'm going to look in the monthly now and take a look at what I'm seeing in the monthly. Here's the monthly RSI, the 2013 bear market, or I'm sorry, 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them before, you know, that was the bottom of the bear market. Same over here, 2017 bull market, 2018 bear, and 4 lows in the RSI. That marked the end of it. Now, I've said before that I don't believe, I've drew these arcs in the same, but I do believe this one is going to be a lot quicker. Just my opinion, but that's what I see. That I just tell you guys what the charts are telling me. I appreciate all you guys stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe. And you can do that by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head and tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post videos. Also, guys, smash those likes, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. If you think of anything that can help me improve the channel, let me know. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.